Obviously emotional game, and great fight by our guys, sticking up for each other the entire game, no matter what happened. It's a tight brotherhood in here, and every guy will do that for one another. So it was part of the fight we showed, and that's a different game, and one maybe we haven't experienced with just a lot of penalties and a lot going on, and I think we have to learn to just stay mentally focused and calm in those situations. And I thought we had good chances and things like that, but everyone's gotta kind of look in the mirror, and we all got better, and we all know that, and still super confident with our group, and this is the most exciting part of the year and most exciting hockey. So, we're all positive, and we'll learn from it and go to LA.
Kind of along the lines of, this is a game you haven't necessarily seen before. Was this more of a battle of momentum or a battle of details?
I don't know. I think maybe both teams had some details slip throughout the game in different scenarios, and I think it's just the mental aspect, and just really those little plays that might not seem like a big deal, or the things that might turn into a goal, or us taking a penalty, or just whatever it may be. So that's what I think.
2 power play goals by that top unit tonight. What do you see working well with your group?
I think just shooting mentality, good net front. We're supporting each other well, and this time of year, it's, special teams is very important, and, we want to contribute, and it's not been what we wanted it to be this year, and, we're still up for the challenge. We're working at it every single day. We're talking about it, working hard at it, so, we got to keep it going moving forward.
Talking about physicality pregame, a lot of guys said that we had to step up to this, right? So it was a very physical game. How can you take this game, especially in this last stretch of the regular season, learn from it, and use that experience to your advantage?
Yeah, I think our team, we can play any style. We can play heavy. We can play the skilled game, and I think, that's what makes us good. Is we always bounce back. We always seem to rise to the challenge most nights, and I thought we did that tonight. Obviously, not the result that we wanted, but super pumped, and it's a good feeling when you see your teammates do that for one another and for other guys. That goes a long way.
You guys are heading on the last long road trip of the season on a pretty bad slump. How do you guys break out of a slump, especially on a road trip?
I think the road's always good. I think gets the guys together, lots of dinners, lots of playing cards, hanging out, talking, things like that. So I think we enjoy it, and like I said, we're still really confident, and there's no doubt in our head at all. It's a fun time of the year.
We missed all the chaos. Mackenzie Weegar did get his first goal as a Mammoth. How big was that for this group?
Yeah, I think it was huge. I think he's gotten better every single game. Obviously, it's tough when you get traded, whole new system, a lot of different moving parts, and he's such a great player. He's calm back there. He's poised, and he's got that calming feeling when you're out there with him. So it's great to see him get his first, and there'll be many more to come for sure.
To Clayton, and passion seemed to be a positive takeaway. There were 82 penalty minutes in this game, and a game you guys probably haven't really seen this season. What can you take away from the passion, the fight, the brotherhood?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think Crosser sticking up, Turbo, it gives us a ton of energy, and like you said, it's a brotherhood in here, and we stick up for each other, and it was great to see, and that's something that we kind of take and build off of.
As far as the game itself goes, a battle of momentum or a battle of details, where does patience fall into how you guys were able to play or not live up to what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think we started out good. Special teams was good. I thought, first period we were moving it well, and I think we kind of just, start to let it slip, give up some odd man rushes, and they capitalize. But, every game is so important right now, and it stings. It's 2 points that we probably should have had, especially early on in the way we were playing, and we got to make sure we're ready for a heck of a battle with LA.
2 power play goals by that first unit. You had one of them. What did you see out of that unit working so well?
Yeah, I think just trying to establish a shot, trying to build off that, and then things start to open up, and We have a lot of great players on that unit that can make a lot of plays, and I think when we establish the shot first, that's when we're going to get our opportunities and find seams and different rebounds like that.
Pre-game, it was discussed how this team brings a lot of physicality to Washington. You guys were able to learn from that with this experience. How can you use that experience going into this final stretch where games are way more physical than they were early in the season?
Yeah, it's important. You could feel it too. Every game is so physical, so tight. Not a lot of room out there, and I think for us, it's we got to adjust quickly and make sure we're matching the intensity other teams are bringing, and everyone's pushing to be in a playoff spot or get a home ice advantage. So every game is so important, and we got to make sure that like I said, we're ready for a great test against LA.
How was it playing with Daniel Boot tonight?
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player, great guy. So young, he's still trying to learn the game, and I remember my age. You just try to take each and every day and learn as much as you can, and he's such a good player, so fast for his height, and he's only going to continue to get better.
The second and third period, 4 unanswered goals. They just kept coming. How do you guys kind of break that slide and get a goal going for your side?
Yeah, I think we need to find a balance of pushing for offense when we're down, but also we got to defend too. I think we want to play with the puck and score, but I think we start to let up chances in our own end, and that's what's costing us, and happening against Oilers too. So I think we got to find a way that when we're trailing to make sure we keep applying pace in our D zone, and I think then it'll allow us to play offense quicker.
Thank you.
Oh boy, there's tougher to talk with the emotion and everything, but try to keep it brief. Disappointed the way we control our emotion. I'm a big believer in team toughness and showing up for your teammate and stuff like that, but there's a way to do it. And the more important thing is that we got carried away emotionally. That's the part. It's part of the game, but you need to stay composed and you need to keep playing. And we got carried away from there, and that cost us dearly. I think that's one thing. The second thing is we need to be better at staying in the present and staying on what we have to do. We take leads, and then we get focused on the outcome we want instead to what we have to do to keep playing well and keep pegging away. Instead of that, we focus on the outcome, we paralyze. So that is the situation of the standing and everything. Apply pressure, and we need to react to it on the better ways.
The power play top unit had 2 goals tonight. What did you see out of that group, and what did you see out of Cooley's addition to the top unit?
They were rolling. I often say that the way they were attacking, the way they were direct, they were really aggressive. They were intentional in their aggressiveness, and that paid off.
I know you talked a little bit about the emotion. The room reflection was it was a positive of having passion. Where is the line between the emotion and the passion you want to see?
It's positive as long as it doesn't take you out of your game. That's just the way it is, We think that was emotional. If you play in the playoff, that will be like that in the warm-up. So you cannot get carried away with that emotion. It's great to have emotion, but you need to stay in control. So I love the mindset of showing up for each other and everything. I'm a huge believer in team toughness. I talk all the time. I love that. But that cannot take you away from what you have to do. And we talk about that, but like I said, it's more when we had the lead 3-1, we're playing really well. We apply a lot of pressure, and then we start to be a little bit less aggressive in our play, and we give some hope. And not just that, we need to be able to sustain our play, but now our focus is more on the result and stuff like that. And those are stuff get you away from what you have to do. So we need to reprogram the brain of focusing on what we have to do, period, whatever the circumstance, whatever the adversity, the emotion, the game, so on and so forth. And that doesn't mean you don't have team toughness. That doesn't mean you don't have emotion. You just control that stuff.
And then last game, you talked about defending too much. This game, especially the defense, had 28 shot attempts, which I think was third most this season. Just as far as adjusting to getting more on the attack, especially from the D-corps, what'd you see?
It's for me, it's more when we don't have the puck, we need to be aggressive. That's what I mean by we don't defend enough. I just felt we give up too much when we don't have the puck. When we have the puck, we did a lot of good things. I agree with you today. We were aggressive. We had shot. The goalie was really good today, and we scored 4 still. So it is what it is. But when we don't have the puck, we need to defend harder. We need to give less time and space. We need to close the play in the neutral zone quicker than that.
With the physicality that got out of hand and all the emotion in the locker room, what's the message to this team in the locker room heading into the final big road trip of the season?
Well, we didn't talk after the game. I think there's, like you just mentioned, a lot of emotion. We'll regroup tomorrow. It's a huge game. Not tomorrow, but the next game is a huge game. So we'll sleep on it tonight, and tomorrow we'll dissect that with the player, unpack it, and we'll get ready for LA.
2 games in a row that you've had to take out the starting goalie early. Is this a case of the goaltending being a problem or the support around the goalie being a problem?
It's all the team. It's not how many times I said to you, offense is not the forward. Defense is not the D, and same thing for the goalie. It's a unit of 6 on the ice. Your breakout, you need your goalie on your breakout. You need on a lot of play, on about 30 touch in the game. So you need to play as a unit and connected, and that's a challenge in hockey.
The intensity level between tonight and Tuesday was night and day.
Yes.
How does one carry that intensity into Los Angeles while maintaining the discipline you need?
I like the way you brought it. I think you could see the passion of our player tonight. You could see the work. You could see the intensity, the emotion, and all of it. It's always, and it's all, whatever the situation, sustaining something, consistency in life, that's the secret of success. It's not about doing one great thing one time in your life or for 1 second or 1 day or 1 hour. Is being capable of sustaining elite every day. So we had a great emotion today. Now it's important to unpack what we need to do better, but we need to find that emotion, that hard work, and put it under control like you put it.